investing principles. Number one principle that we must follow, and why do you follow that? Later on you will get to know. So let's start with the principle of investing. Alright, so when you invest, let's say you have $100,000 and you want to invest into real estate. Now, when you want to invest into real estate, the number one reason you are investing is to have a return. You want to grow your 100,000 to a certain portfolio, right? You want to grow it to 150,000, 200,000, 500,000, whatever be the amount. Okay, that's the growth part. The next part is to ensure that when you invested that $100,000, that after investing, it is making that money, right? It is giving you a certain percentage of return. Now, why I always advocate into commercial property? Because $100,000 if you invested, the principle number one is that from day one, it should give you 6% minimum return. Now, why 6% return? Because 6% is kind of a industry average, you can say 6.5, 7% net return. That means if you have $100,000, 6% return is 6,000 in a year. That's $500 per month. Now, $500 per month is not a lot. You could say, so man, what's going to happen with $500 per month? But you would be shocked to know that most people invest that $100,000 and from day one, they lose the money. It's not $500 per month that they're getting. They're actually getting negative $500, negative $1,000 per month, which is called the negative cash flow, right? And this is what I want you to understand, that do not lose money. Rule number one is that if you want to invest some amount, whatever be the case, do not lose money, because if you lose money, then for sure, sooner or later, you will struggle. You would struggle to find out that money because you are pushing yourself a lot to hold that investment. Now, of course, you would say, the property price goes up and it is going to grow value. All right. Have you done the calculation? Let me give you a simple calculation. Let's say you have $100,000 and you have two options. You can invest that $100,000 into residential property, or that same $100,000 you can buy a commercial property, or you can buy a portion of that commercial property. There are so many strategies that you can implement, but the fundamental is a residential property is giving you, let's say, 2% return and a commercial property is giving you a 6% return. How do I get that 2% return? If you check any average Australian residential property and after paying all the mortgages and everything, you'll be able to see that it is giving you 2% return. If you go to a commercial property after paying all the mortgages and everything, you'll be able to see it's giving you minimum 6% return. So that's how it's an average that I'm talking about. Now, if you are getting 2% return and if your friend is getting 6% return, guess what's going to happen over a period of 10 years? That your friend is continuously making money and you are continuously losing money. Now, you could argue it that, because I have high paying job, so I am actually offsetting with my income, so I am saving tax. Now, by saying that, what you are telling that I need that job forever, or at least next 10, 15, 20 years, whereas my friend does not need his job to feed that property. And this is a fundamental difference, because investing, so you are violating the investing principle by losing money from day one. Your friend is following the investing principle by making money from day one. Now, this is exactly going to happen. Let's say 10 years down the line, your property has gone up more than your friend, just for argument's sake. And you would be very happy. Yes, look, I invested $100,000. Now it has become $300,000. It become 3 times. Whereas your friend invested into $100,000 and he's become only $200,000. Or $180,000. So it's way less, right? Now here is something that we need to understand, that you are continuously losing money, and the only way you can get that 300,000 realized, so in other words, to tap into, is either by borrowing more or by selling that property. That's the way you can get that growth, right? Because there is no other way other than doing that refinancing, which means more borrowing, or you can actually sell that property to realize that. Now here is what we need to understand. As soon as you sell, that all the money is not yours, right? Because up to 25% of that growth you need to pay to the government, to ATO, to as form of tax, capital gain tax. Your friend, yes, it has not grown up, but guess what? He is continuously making money 6%. So he doesn't have to sell. So there is an option. And if he can push it for further another 20 years, another 30 years, you would always see that he is making more money than you. So you are losing money from day one continuously for next 10 years, 20 years. Your friend is making money from day one continuously for next 10 years, 20 years. You have to sell at the end because otherwise there is no option to get income. Your friend doesn't have to sell because he is making money. Tell me why would you not invest into commercial property? It's a question to ask yourself, because I am not the one to tell you that, oh, you should. Of course, ask yourself that, okay, how would that happen? So with that point, I would say that commercial property, the income plus growth is way more than the residential property growth plus income. And now the going part, think about that, the amount of sleepless night that you have because of the negative cash flow, if you have a fear of losing jobs, and if you actually lose jobs, what's going to happen to your portfolio versus your friend if the fear is not almost there, and because he's continuously making money, that the fear of losing job is not there. There is no extra pressure. So those are the things that you also need to put into when you invest into commercial property. Now, I'll give you one more scenarios, because the last night I was watching on Facebook and somebody put a post saying that, hey, I own 5 residential properties and all 5 residential property combined is $4.6 million. It has $3 million loan and each one is actually giving me average $650 per week rent. How do I retire? This was the question that he put together in one of the group, and then I saw people were commenting, and you would be shocked to know that how difficult be in this position. Why? Because 5 properties, $4.6 million is the total value and 3 million. So 1.6 million he has as kind of an equity. But here is something, every single year he is losing tens of thousands of dollars. Think about it, every single year. Now you must also that one point of time, now the rent is going to go up and his portfolio, the value is going to go up. So he'll be, but how? Have you thought about it? How he is going to make money? Because each of these properties from $650, let's say it becomes $800 per week rent. But because the rent has gone up, which basically means the property value is also gone up, and also the land tax, council rates, insurance, maintenance, property management fees, all these things has also gone up. Now, when you do the calculation, you'll see even after 10 years, 15 years, it is almost impossible to get enough money to call yourself financially independent. I hope you find these videos helpful. I hope you can compare this. I hope you can find out that why investing principles is the most before you start investing. And remember the rule number 1 from Warren Buffett, never lose money. And the rule number 2 is see the rule number 1. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.